Alright, blogs, the exercise I'm now going to show you is the initial part of asymmetric flight, to recognize what happens when an engine fails. Now, you've been flying the aircraft for some time now with both engines running. Now I want to introduce you to the effect of an engine failure on the aircraft. And particularly this aircraft, as we have the engines mounted on the wings, as I said in the board brief, the aircraft will tend to roll first and then yaw. Alright, now what I do want to show you before we even start is that the aircraft will fly perfectly normally with an engine fail. So I'm going to demonstrate to you me shutting down an engine on the aircraft like I am now. So I'm going to shut down the left engine, so just maintaining directional control and feathering the engine. If you have a look outside now, you can see the engine stopped, and eventually I'm going to trim the aircraft so the aircraft continues to fly straight and level, hands off. So it's quite normal, and the other engine's working quite nicely. Alright, so the important part to remember is that this is what happens during cruise flight. Is a little bit easier to deal with than it is when the aircraft is taking off or maybe having to go around from a landing. So I'm going to restart the engine now. And we're back with two engines operating again. Good. So let's have a look at what happens when an engine fails. As I said, in this particular aircraft, the engine, if we have an engine that fails, the aircraft will roll, as I said in the board briefing first, and then you'll enter into spiral descent. So let's look at this. I'm going to simulate a failure on the left engine. And there it rolls, starting to yaw, and the nose pitches down. And similarly on the right engine, exactly the same, rolls, yaws, nose pitches down. So if a roll is the first thing we can see happening, how would we stop the aircraft from rolling?
Using of the aileron.
The aileron, that's correct. Okay, and then we can stop the yaw, and then we can stop the nose pitch down. And I want to show you that the importance of dealing with probably the worst part of anything that happens. So roll was quite evident, so let's deal with that as being the most primary thing we have to deal with. So follow me through. I'm shutting down one engine, alright, and I'm going to stop the roll. Now the nose is still pitched down, and the aircraft is still yawing, but we've stopped rolling. Now, if you have a look, the ball is out to the right, pointing to the live engine, and I'm going to centralize it, put the ball back in the middle. We can see now we've stopped yawing, but our nose is still pitched down, so I'm going to pitch up the elevator, and if necessary, add a little bit more power. Right, I'm restoring us back to two-engine flight again. So I'm going to get you to practice this. And I want you in the initial stages just to learn how to do one item at a time. As you get a little bit more proficient with doing this, the speed at which you'll be able to correct and maintain directional control will improve. But do one job at a time. Stop the roll, stop the yaw, and then stop the nose pitching down. Alright? Don't try and attempt to do everything together. So I'm going to give you control, and I'm going to call out stop roll, I'm going to say stop yaw, and I'm going to say pitch nose up. Alright? And do it in that sequence. And I will only let you do those once you've completed each part of the cycle. So you ready? You have control. Okay. Simulating engine failure. Stop the roll.
Stop the roll.
Now stop the yaw. Now correct nose pitch down. Good, I have control. So you can see there that that was quite simply put together. Stop the roll, stop the yaw, stop the nose pitch down. But now, which foot was working hard and which wasn't working?
The right foot was working and the left foot.
Absolutely. So, as I said in the board briefing, we'll be able to identify that which engine has failed by looking at which foot's doing the work and which one isn't. And so the non-working foot is the dead foot, equals a dead engine. But let's have a look too inside. So an engine fails now. Inside we can't see an awful lot happening. Yes, there is a decrease in RPM, right? Manifold pressure may actually go the other way around if we feather the engine. And look, the manifold pressure actually increases, not decreases. Alright. So, and engine temperature and pressures take a little longer to actually cool down. So it may be very difficult to determine an engine failure purely by looking at instrumentation. Restarting the engine. So the most important thing is dead foot, dead engine. Alright, so I'm going to give you control in a moment and I want you to practice this several times. Understood?